Hello YouTube, and I am back. So I'm here to talk about the whole Flash situation with Ezra Miller. Just before I get into this, trigger warning, I may talk about grooming, sexual assault, and of that nature. So if you're not ready to hear about that, if you have trouble hearing about that, don't click on this video, but just give you a warning before I talk about this stuff. Alright, so as we all know, this whole fiasco with Ezra Miller has been going on for the past few months, and it's very interesting to me because before the more serious allegations have come forward about them, we know what went on in Hawaii where they were attacking people, they were doing karaoke, they've been arrested in and out of clubs, they've allegedly stolen people's items, and rob these people, asking people to stay at their houses even though they're a big movie star, should have enough money to get a hotel suite, all this weird stuff, right? And so it's been a fiasco, and people have been like, what is going on with Ezra Miller? Is this why they pushed back the movie? Because we all know the Flash movie has been through hell since it was first announced that he was the Flash, or they were the Flash, excuse me. They've had many directors come in and out, many writers. It's just been through hell. It's been it's been a trial to get this to Flash movie just to even start filming something. So they finally decided to do a Flashpoint movie, which now has Supergirl in it, Batman, the two versions of that character with Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, and people have been anticipating this movie. And originally, it was supposed to come out this fall. Warner Brothers did release a teaser months ago before all this stuff happened, and said that the movie was going to come out this fall. And then a few weeks later, they shuffled around the release dates where they moved up the Shazam sequel to this year, and they pushed the Flash back to June of next year. And I was like, wow, that's a far pushback, because usually when movie studios push back a movie, it's like at least 3, maybe 4.5 months, if the most. But the fact that they pushed the Flash movie this far back, and knowing the high anticipation of it, it was weird. But now in retrospect, knowing of what's happening in Hawaii, has Ezra Miller acted like this on set? There have been word allegedly by certain sources that they have acted maybe unprofessionally. We do not know. This is all alleged. Please don't sue me. So we don't know. Maybe they have done stuff in other cities that we don't know about. And if we know anything really about Hollywood, to be quite honest, they will try to cover up something, especially their titular star, any scandals, any whatever, to keep them, innocent, quote unquote. And the thing is, even before these more serious allegations of grooming, allegedly these, young girls have come forward by Ezra Miller, to me, just the Hawaii stuff was enough to, not even keep them as a part of this universe at all, because they were hurting innocent people in Hawaii. And a lot of people in Hawaii, or some people in Hawaii, feel as though tourism has hurt their culture, hurt their livelihood, and don't want people basically to tour there, to visit there, basically. And what Ezra has done, and what, disturbing the peace, and, physically attacking people, allegedly, and stealing their stuff and whatever, it's just been a fiasco. And there's probably more stuff they have done down there that we don't even know about, that hasn't even been reported. And I'm wondering if Warner Brothers knew about this, and that's why they pushed the movie so far back, so that we will forget about it when the movie comes out. But now that's unavoidable, because now we got grooming allegations against the actor. So this is very extreme. And I thought that it was so kind of interesting that people were able to give Ezra so much leeway pre-grooming allegations of oh, well, he has they have mental issues, and or they may be addicted to alcohol, or be a drug addict, and oh, you don't know what's going on in someone's life. But they were able to have so much empathy for this person. I understand it to a certain extent, but they kept on attacking people in Hawaii, offensively, and it was just not good. And I found that interesting considering what Will Smith did at the Oscars around that same time. Granted, yes, that was on live TV, and it was shocking, of course, but like just the whole hoopla about that was so like annoying and uncalled for. And of course, you know who I'm going to bring up. Do not be surprised. The whole Amber Heard thing was so absurd. The way the internet basically just desecrated that woman is and was uncalled for. It's just so monstrous that people treat her like the spawn of Satan. No empathy. No, oh, let's take a second look. Nothing. Offered that woman nothing in return. So what does happen? Now women who come forward about abuse, or basically anyone who comes forward about abuse, might be silent, especially if they're going against someone as rich as you know who, big movie stars or whatever, which Ezra is in the situation. So don't tell them what they're going to do to these girls. I mean, remember a couple years ago when Ezra chokeslammed that girl in the store randomly, and that was never heard of ever again? So there's that. But people are able to give Ezra so much leeway now that there's grooming allegations coming through. People are kind of like, wait a minute. And it's like, well, of course, really no one saw this coming. I'm not going to be on here and be like, oh, of course this happened. I didn't see this coming neither. But I did not give Ezra any leeway considering they were arrested multiple times. There have been many reports of them doing this stuff down in Hawaii. So, I was like, just fire him because they're not setting a good example for themselves or for the property. And then now, with all these allegations coming forward, like, please let them go. And I'll put a link down in the description of the article. Allegedly, Warner Brothers has let them go. They'll still put out the movie because they've already made it. There's so much money into it. I don't know how the heck they're going to do this, but okay. They're hoping people will forget, but I'm like, maybe if it was only the Hawaii stuff, maybe people will forget. But these grooming allegations, I don't know how you're going to let people forget that, because it's not going to be easy. So, what are your thoughts on this Ezra situation? Once again, like I said in my last video when I mentioned Amber Heard, anything said against her or anything like that, I don't care. I will delete the comments. That's just my stance. Go find another channel that will, unfortunately, rip her down and do whatever, because there's millions of those. I'm not going to be that channel. Okay, that's where I stand personally. So, where do you stand on Ezra Miller? Put your comments down below, and bye, YouTube.